Why does Satan target our trust in God? Let's find out in this video. To know more about this subject, my book is available on this subject. You can find the link of the book given in the description below. Trust and faith are the foundations of our relationship with God. The Bible tells us in Hebrews 11:6, and without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. Trusting God means believing in His promises and relying on His guidance. Satan targets our trust in God because he knows that if he can make us doubt, our relationship with God weakens. Without trust, our faith becomes shaky, making us more vulnerable to future attacks. Satan often plants doubts in our minds about God's care and love for us. He makes us question whether God truly has our best interests at heart. In the Garden of Eden, Satan asked Eve, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" We read that in Genesis 3:1. This question planted doubt in Eve's mind about God's command. Similarly, Satan tries to make us doubt God's goodness, especially during difficult times. He whispers lies that God doesn't care about our struggles or that He is not faithful to His promises. The Bible is full of stories where people trust in God was tested. One example is Job, who lost everything but still chose to trust God. In Job 13:15 he declares, "Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him." Another example is Abraham, who trusted God's promises to give him a son even when it seems impossible. In Genesis 15:6 it says, "Abraham believed the Lord and He credited it to him as righteousness." These stories remind us that trust in God is essential even when circumstances seems bleak. To strengthen our trust in God's amidst deception, we must focus on His Word. In Romans 10:17 tells us, "Consequently, faith comes from hearing the message, and the message is heard through the Word about Christ." Regularly reading the Bible helps us remember God's promises and see His faithfulness throughout history. Prayer is also vital, asking God to increase our faith and help us trust Him more deeply. By staying close to God through His Word and prayer, we can resist Satan's attempts to undermine our trust. When our trust in God has been shaken, rebuilding it requires practical steps. First, confess any doubt or fears to God and ask for His help. In Psalm 56:3 says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you." Second, recall past experiences where God has been faithful, reinforcing your belief in His goodness. Third, surround yourself with a supportive faith community that can encourage and pray for you. Finally, take steps of faith, trusting God in everyday situations. Over time, these steps can rebuild and strengthen your trust in God, helping you stand firm against Satan's attacks.